Today we're going to talk about hay moisture testers. We got a couple different ones here from Agratronix. The one I've got in my hand is the DHT1 with a pistol grip handle. And we've also got the HT Pro, which has the probe already fixed into the readout. First we're going to talk about the DHT1 tester. It has a pistol grip with the probe on it, separated from the readout by a cord. It will be a range from 14.5% up to 45, and that's easy to tell because when you first power it up, it'll take a little bit of time when you first start it, but once it gets first readout in open air, it'll be 14.5. So you know it's already set up and ready to go. And then if you covered it with like aluminum foil, it should go to 45, and that'll tell you it's actually calibrated and ready to go. It will take a little bit of time when you first test your hay, so you want to give it a little bit of time in the bale to get a good readout. One of the things that they do make mention of, you want to test on the outer surface of the bale versus doing on the end, because you get a tighter wind on the outsides, and that makes it harder for that moisture tester to read. Also, they want you to come in at a 45-degree angle, so on this bale we're just going to go in at 45 and go up to about 12 inches or so, and that'll give it below that first layer to give us a better readout, and then you'll let that probe sit in there for 1 to 2 minutes to give you an accurate reading on your moisture. These bales have been sitting here for a little bit, so that moisture will be down quite a ways. But also, same time, to give you a better idea how that bale's testing, they want you to do it in 5 different spots. So you'd move around the bale 5 different areas to get a better idea of the moisture. Also on this, you have 2 probes, or two readouts on here for the moisture or temperature. So the temperature, I believe, goes down to about 32 and up to over 300 degrees. So they'll at least give you a very good range of where that moisture or where that temperature is at as well. Want to do that same way with the temperature, spreading between 5 different areas of the bale to get a good readout. So now we're going to switch over to the HT Pro and talk a little bit more about it. HT Pro, as you can see here, the probe is fixed to the readout. It does have 4 different readouts on it, or 4 different buttons on it. One's for the backlit. You can just hit it if you want to have a backlit area on it to read that number a little bit better. If you don't need it, you can switch it off. Then you have your moisture and your temperature as well. And then the check button on the right-hand side is actually just for calibration purposes. You don't need to touch it any other time. The ranges of moisture on this are actually different from the DHT1. It'll actually go down to 8% and still go up to 45. Temperature range is still the same. You won't see any difference there. Just give you a little bit more accuracy to see that bale when it's actually down a little bit lower as far as moisture goes. On this moisture tester, it's going to be the same way. You're still going to come in at a 45 degree into the bale to get that readout and get below that first layer to get down to where you can actually sense the moisture in the bale. Still going to be the same way, hitting that moisture button to get that readout. Going to take a little bit of time to get to that point, but it'll give you a more accurate reading of that bale. Still going to do 5 points across the bale to give you a better idea. If you happen to test, one that happens to test real high, or maybe have 1 or 2 points higher, they use that just as a gradient to kind of set your bar in a sense, to know that, hey, this is my high moisture. Anything below that, at least you know you're in pretty good shape. Okay, so we went through both the DHT1 tester and HT Pro. If you happen to have any other questions on that, feel free to give us a call at 800-934-9777, or you can check out both products on sloanex.com.